let's talk about something we all face: change. It's, one of the few guarantees in life. You can try to plan for it, you can prepare for it, but sooner or later, life is going to shift, and usually it's when you least expect it. So, how do we find our footing when the ground beneath us feels like it's moving? That's what we're going to break down right now.
It can happen in just a blink. The career you've been building for years suddenly takes a sharp left turn. Or maybe a relationship that was such a huge part of your life just quietly drifts away. And sometimes, a door you were praying would swing wide open just slams shut, leaving you stuck in the hallway, feeling totally and completely unsteady.
In those moments of pure uncertainty, it's just so natural to ask the big questions, right? If this is all part of some grand plan, why does it have to feel so confusing, so disruptive? It's a question that really connects a lot of us when we're in those seasons of transition.
But here's where we need a major shift in our perspective. What if the change itself isn't actually the problem? What if the real issue is something else entirely? Okay, this right here is a really key distinction. We often treat change like it's the enemy, the one thing we have to avoid at all costs. But the argument here is that the true enemy is actually the fear that comes with the change. The fear of the unknown, the fear of loss, the fear of failure.
So if change isn't the enemy, then what is it? Well, think of it like a tool. It's often God's way of repositioning you, of moving you out of a season that's run its course and guiding you right into the next one He has waiting for you. It's not punishment. It's all about positioning.
And to really see how this works in real life, let's look at a story. It's a perfect example of what this kind of trust can actually look like.
So this is Marcus, super talented, creative guy, had a stable corporate job, the whole 9 yards. But he felt this undeniable pull from God to step into full-time ministry. It was a classic head versus heart situation. And you can just hear that tension in his own words, can't you? His spirit was telling him, go. But all the external logic, the money, the security, his career path, it was all screaming that this was just way too risky. It's a conflict I think a lot of us know really well.
This is so crucial. When God called Abraham, He didn't hand him a detailed turn-by-turn GPS map. Nope. He gave him a promise and an invitation to trust. And it's such a brilliant picture of this truth. Faith often means you have to move forward without a full explanation, but with a deep reliance on the one who is leading you.
And what happened with Marcus? Well, he took that leap of faith. And what initially felt like this huge loss, giving up his salary, his security, was actually God shifting him directly into his purpose. Within a year, doors were opening for him to mentor and travel in ways he never, ever could have imagined. Marcus's story is just so powerful. But how do we apply this to our own lives? How do we stay anchored when our world feels like it's shifting? Well, there are 3 foundational truths we can hold on to.
First thing, and this is the most important, when everything around you is changing, you have to anchor yourself to the one thing that never, ever changes. Your circumstances, they're temporary, but God's character is permanent.
This verse really says it all. Your feelings will change. Your job might change. Your address might change. But the one leading you is constant. That is the ultimate source of our stability. Okay, the second truth is that these uncomfortable transitions, they're often a training ground. They stretch you, they force you to rely on strengths you didn't even know you had. And this promise is a great reminder that even the changes that we're afraid of can be the very thing God uses to unlock our next level of growth. The challenge is actually an opportunity in disguise. And the third truth is a really practical one. When you're at a crossroads and logic just isn't cutting it, what does your spirit say? God's peace. It acts like a compass, confirming that you're on the right path, even if it doesn't make any sense yet.
Now, this peace, it's not the absence of difficulty. It's the presence of God in the difficulty. It's that quiet confidence that even when you're in the unknown, you are not walking alone.
Okay, so we have these anchoring truths, but how do we actually translate them into everyday actions? Let's break down the practical steps we can take when we find ourselves in one of these seasons of change.
Here's a simple 4-part game plan. It starts with prayer, not just asking for what we want, but asking for His perspective. Then it's about actively letting go of our need to control the outcome. We got to stay anchored by rooting ourselves in Scripture, especially when our emotions are all over the place. And finally, remember, we are not meant to do this alone. It's so important to seek out wise people who can offer guidance.
And to really help with that mindset shift, here are some powerful affirmations you can actually use. Things like, I trust the process because I trust the one who leads me, or change is not loss, it's an invitation to growth. These are literally tools to help you rewire your thinking from fear back to faith.
And at the end of the day, it all comes back to this foundational promise. God's plans for you are good. They are for your future and for your hope. Even when a chapter ends unexpectedly, He is already writing the next one.
So let's end with this thought. Maybe this season of change isn't about you losing control at all. Maybe it's an invitation to learn how to let go and trust the one who has always been and always will be in control. What would change for you if you saw it that way?
Want to start your week with power, peace, and purpose? Join the Affirm Your Greatness community, where faith meets mindset, all for just $9 a month or $50 a year. This is your space to speak life, grow boldly, and walk in God's promises. Affirm your greatness, speak life, live boldly.
Now available on Amazon.com. Unlock the transformative power of positive affirmations with this essential guide by certified personal development coach and motivational speaker, Dennis of DennisMotivates.com. In Affirm Your Greatness, you'll discover the science behind affirmations and learn how to craft personalized affirmations that resonate with your unique journey. Get your copy today. Find the link in the description. Thanks.